Welcome to this live stream event of Panther Sports. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, Richie Ewing, Neil Thornton. All gas, no brakes. Let's get it. Good evening, Panther Nation, and welcome to this live streaming event of Liberty Panther football at War Memorial Stadium on Friday, September 10th, 2021. Your Liberty Panthers hosting the Diboll Lumberjacks. I'm Joe Roberts alongside Ross Norwood, Neil Thornton on stats, producer Richard Ewing, and then cameramen tonight are Tanis Grimes, Oscar Sakata, and El Jefe himself.
Good to see him. I haven't seen him in
we haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. He's back. He's the man. We are here, week 3, Ross Norwood. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some bad times, but as of last week, some really good times.
It was an impressive performance by Liberty last week against the tough Madisonville team.
Oh, speaking of, don't mean to cut you off. There's El Jefe himself right there.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Right there in the camera. Okay. All right, go ahead. Jump back in. I'm sorry, Ross.
Liberty came out to bounce back against Madisonville after that Huffman Week 1 loss, and they looked like a completely different team. Another week of practices, and they were missing some key guys, but you wouldn't have known that just watching the game.
No doubt about that. Neil Thornton hit us with the tale of two cities. What did we see last week in Madisonville?
What I saw last week was Liberty got their act together in about the middle of the first quarter and started that Liberty Panther machine going. The long drives, taking a lot of time off the clock, good defense. Defense really held Madisonville down. I was afraid after hearing the report because Madisonville and Diboll had played the week before. And Madisonville had run up 51 points on Diboll. And everybody that I talked to was talking about what a threat that their quarterback was running. He carried the ball for 9 yards. We really keyed in on him, held him down, and shut their offense down. Was able to get the ball, make long drives, take a lot of time off the clock, and score just pretty much at will, especially in the second half. Game ball, I think, last week, on the Liberty side had to go to Mason Goodo. 2 touchdowns, one of them the running touchdown, other one the pass, and just played a heck of a game. 16 carries altogether. Not a whole lot of yards, but 16 carries, and really kept the drives going when he had to.
Yeah, the Goodo boy had a great – I almost said
good
like good old boy.
That
good old boy. Goodo, he really had a great game last week amongst the many that were there. Under 9 minutes to go here before we start, and your Liberty Panthers exiting the Panther Tunnel, carrying 13 American flags to represent the 13 United States Marines that lost their life in Afghanistan just a few weeks ago. A solemn moment by your Liberty Panthers. Well played as a Marine veteran. This is definitely something that's near and dear to my heart, and they are making their way onto the field. The Prancers out there doing their thing. The LHS cheerleaders doing many things that I cannot do ever. I don't know if I was ever able to do that, Ross.
It hurts just looking at it.
It does.
It makes a big impression on a Marine dad, too, when the public supports an elite fighting force like that. It really does. And want to make sure everybody remembers tomorrow about 8:46 in the morning, about 14 minutes to 9. Just get real quiet and say something to the man upstairs for bringing us through all the stuff we did.
Yes, this game being held on the eve of the 20-year anniversary of the September 11th attacks in 2001. I think everyone that's anyone can remember where they were and what they were doing on that fateful day, and 20 years later still battling some of those problems. But most importantly, we are here for a Friday night football game, Ross.
That's right. It didn't shut up. I'm sorry, Ross, I stepped on you, but it didn't shut down our way of life. We're still here on Friday nights playing football.
Ross, that
and
voice
the conflicts
is deep.
and the conflicts are in another hemisphere.
All right, just about 7 minutes to go here at Memorial Stadium. Your Liberty Panthers 1-1 on the season, shutout in week 1 against the Hargrave Falcons, finding their rhythm last week against Madisonville, hanging 41 points, and then 42 points rather, and now looking to probably find somewhere in between those two. Diboll got smashed by Madisonville, but Ross.
You cannot – I mean, it's nice to look at common opponents and say, well, we we did this to the guy they played the week before us, we're going to have the same results, and it just doesn't work that way, and that's a good way to get yourself in trouble, and I think that's something that Liberty is not going to do, and they've worked on that this week to avoid that temptation because it's very easy to do.
All right, one of the things that the Liberty Panthers are definitely going to have to overcome this evening is head coach Chad Taylor not on the sidelines tonight, having to be at the house under quarantine for a couple of more days before he can come back. And heavens, thank you that he's okay and he's chomping at the bit, ready to come back. And I know this is probably killing him right now if he's listening. In fact, I know he's watching. The coaching staff going to have to come together, come up with the game plan, and probably that he's called in 400 or 500 times. And fortunately for the Liberty Panthers, a lot of able coaches on the staff.
That is a huge plus, the depth of their coaching staff. You will get a chance to hear from head coach Chad Taylor. We did our weekly show, but did a little different this week. We did it with him calling in.
Yeah, a little remote call in. Really cool thing that we have. Love technology. Captains going to the middle of the field. Number 9, Mason Goodo. Number 13, William Waldrett. Number 33, Titus Bell. And number 5, Austin Walker, all representing the Panthers. Number 12 for the Diboll Lumberjacks, Ray Ariano, the senior, coming on as the lone captain for the Jacks. Ross. Oh, I thought you had a soundbite for the Diboll Lumberjacks.
I did not.
We want to make sure we say something about who is doing the head coaching duties. Offensive coordinator Joe Slack is taking care of the head coach duties tonight on the sidelines, and I'm sure he's excited about that.
And Jeff Stewart going to be continuing to man the defensive side. So that goes back to what we talked about earlier. The Liberty Panther coaching staff so blessed to have some great minds on there for cases like this.
You have 2 guys on the coaching staff who were head coaches, Joe Slack in Holday Zeta and Jeff Stewart in Liberty. As a matter of fact, was the athletic director when I was in school. And that's not something you see a lot on many staffs, especially at this level.
Well, also Greg Box. You know, Greg Box was head coach at Hardin for a couple of years, and he's on staff. So,
all right,
yeah, they got lots of depth.
Panthers winning the coin toss, electing to receive. Now we're going to pause real quick as they say the prayer here at Memorial Stadium.
Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to come together tonight and enjoy a game of football. We pray for protection of the players and officials that both teams play to their full abilities. We pray for safe travels on the way home. In Jesus' name, we pray, amen.
All right, with the prayer done, now should be headed for the National Anthem. Camera facing the south end of War Memorial Stadium. And not much wind going on right now, as you can see by the limp flags. That's it for the National Anthem. The Liberty High School Band under the direction of band director Sean Smith. About 1:50 to go before kickoff here, although they may start a little sooner than that. Looks like both teams are raring and ready to go. Both teams entering this contest at 1-1. on this young season. Both teams looking to either find momentum or continue momentum, and the Liberty Panthers finding some gold at the end of a rainbow last week, and hopefully they can find some more of that.
Panthers taking the field. They will receive to start this game, as they did last week against Madisonville.
And back deep to receive for the Panthers, number 5, Austin Walker, number 15, Gavin Fontenot.
Going to stand about the 15-yard line.
Number 24, Brian Patlin for the Lumberjacks, getting set to kick off. And just like last week, going to turn over the play-by-play duties to Ross Norwood, and I'll be doing color commentary and, fingers crossed, working the scoreboard.
Thank you, Joe. Diboll has the ball down on the tee. White uniform top with red letters, red helmets, and red pants. Liberty with their home uniform, black uniforms with gold lettering and black helmets. Just about ready to get this one kicked off. Brian Patlin moves to the ball and kicks this one straight down the field. Austin Walker fields it, and he is going to go up the middle with it as he crosses the 25, and he is going to be brought down at around the 30-yard line. Saw last week Austin Walker with a great return. Special.
Is that 9?
Austin Walker takes it on the outside, ran out by several Lumberjacks.
Okay, welcome back. We apologize. Some technical issues right there. Right before we dropped off, Liberty had started their first drive at their own 30-yard line. We pick it back up at the Diboll 25-yard line. And a fourth down conversion, Neil, was made on a hookup between Caden Nolan and I believe it was Cade Jordan. It was Cade Jordan.
Number 11.
Nolan under center. Pitches this ball to Titus Bell. Bell is wrapped up behind the line of no, he is going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
No, he got back to the original line of scrimmage. He lost
okay,
back to the 30.
Okay. That makes sense there. So it'll bring up a third down and about 9 to go. Ball going to be placed at the Diboll 29-yard line. Panthers send a receiver out. And on this third down play, Nolan rolls to his right, throws a ball up. It is almost intercepted by the Diboll defender, Jacoby Watts. And that will bring up a fourth down and 9. Liberty began the drive on their 30-yard line. They are now at the Diboll 30-yard line. Fourth down and 10 to go. Nolan pitches this ball to Walker, who runs to the near side, and he is going to be taken down.
That was good-o.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, my mistake. But the ball goes over on downs, and Diboll will start their first offensive possession at their own 30-yard line. Liberty drove it from their 30-yard line to the Diboll 30-yard line, but could not convert the 4th and 10 play. Diboll's offense going to get their first look.
Thanks to all our sponsors, those who placed student ads for this year's program. Please be sure to pick up your copy tonight. The price of the program is $5.
They come out in the shotgun with one back
While at the later, be sure to ask.
to the left of the quarterback. The snap is back, and he hands off to that back, and he is immediately met by Panthers, still on his feet, and he is going to be drugged down. Luis Moreno with the initial hit for the Panthers.
Well, Ross, it wouldn't be a broadcast if we didn't have some problems. Apologize for briefly being off the air.
Tell us a little about Diboll's quarterback, Joe.
He is pretty good from what we saw. We were expecting him to sling the ball across the yard. So far, nothing yet, as they haven't had the ball too long.
They're in double slots, so you know they're going to throw a little.
The screen, the receiver Phipps catches it, and he's going to make it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Phipps is definitely a name to know in Diboll. Growing up, Diboll was kind of a rival of my high school, Corgan Camden, and there were a bunch of Phipps there, and they were always really, really good.
Probably this fella's daddy.
Could be.
That's how old you are.
Oh, see, I'm not used to the zingers coming back at me.
Wear that one.
Oh, on my sleeve.
Diboll sends 2 receivers out to the far side, 1 on the near side. Ariano drops back, and he throws this pass, and it is in and out of the hands of his receiver, Jacoby Watts. Watts almost making that catch at the Liberty 35-yard line, but that'll bring up a 4th down. Diboll sends out their special. Does not look like they're.
Yeah, I think
okay.
so.
I see the quarterback on the far sideline, but their special teams is out.
Number 4 is back deep. I think they're going to punt. Or they're showing punt anyway.
Amstead.
This time of the game and that much to go, 4th and 10, I don't think they'd fake it.
Mason Goodo is the deep man back, and this kick is high and will land on the far side at about the 49-yard line, where it goes out of bounds, and they will mark that at about the 48.
I think so.
Liberty will start their second drive of the game. They're going to give him the 49, Neil.
Okay.
At the Liberty 49-yard line. Better field position than the opening drive, where they started at their own 30.
Yeah, they put out 41 yards on that opening drive.
Nolan under center. Walker in motion. Or that is Goodo in motion.
And he lost 5.
Comes over to the near side and is hit hard.
It's number 1, Jacoby Watts. Spilling him in the backfield. That's a great play by the defensive, maybe back. Can't see if he was in the linebacking spot or not. You know my eyesight's terrible, Ross.
Ball is on the near hash. It's going to be a loss. It'll move the ball back to the Liberty 45-yard line. Titus Bell in at fullback. The fake pitch to Walker, and it is going to be handed up to the inside to Mason Goodo, who comes over to the near side across the 30, the 25, the 20, tiptoes the sideline and taken down from behind inside the 5-yard line.
52 yards on that pickup and a 1st down. I call that play here the last set of downs. They're really, really cheating, Diboll is. They're really going with the flow.
They're going to get him stepping out at about the 21-yard line.
Oh, really?
Well, I saw him backing up, and I thought, uh-oh, I don't see any
Yeah, it was 21,
flags.
okay. So that's 5 and
Nonetheless, it's a 1st down
yards.
and a big gain.
34 yards.
Austin Walker in motion. This ball is handed off to the inside to Titus Bell, who barrels forward and is going to get to about the 12-yard line. Excuse me, the 16 or 17-yard line. Hard to see the hash marks from where we are. It is on the near hash. It'll be 2nd and 6, 2:27 remaining in the 1st quarter. Liberty on their 2nd offensive possession. Nolan hands this ball off to Quentin Johnson.
No, it's Austin Walker.
Was it Austin Walker?
Yeah.
These numbers, Neil, I'm having some problems with them. I thought that was strange, but He's going to pick up 2 yards, but bring up a 3rd down and 4 under 2 minutes in the first quarter. Liberty moving from south to north. Walker in motion. This ball is pitched out to Walker, who tries to get outside, then spins back inside, and he is going to be close to another first down, and he's going to be just short. They're going to say they're going to mark him about
14-yard, 13-yard line, I guess.
Be 3rd down and 2. Big 3rd down for Liberty as their first drive of the game stalled out.
Come on, folks, let's get to the line here. 6 seconds.
The play clock winding down, under 3 seconds now. Ball is snapped. It's going to be a keeper by Nolan, and he is going to push ahead forward. And I cannot see if they're going to, from this vantage point, where they're spotting that ball, Neil.
I can't either. I can't tell from we're kind of on an angle here. Let's see. Oh, they're saying first down, so he got it, I guess.
Watching the play in real time, it looked like he did have a first down, but then watching some of the officials in the down box not moving.
They didn't get very demonstrative on it, did they?
No, they did not. It'll be first down and 11 to go for Liberty. From the 11, ball handed off inside to Austin Walker, who tries to find a gap, and he's going to push forward for a couple of yards. I think I said first down and 11. That's, I guess.
First down at the 11.
First down at the 11.
Yeah.
He's going to pick up 2 yards on that carry. Just under 20 seconds in the first quarter in Liberty. Liberty and Diboll, Liberty's first home game. Opened with the first 2 on the road as they try to add to the win column tonight and have a winning record. They're at 1-1 right now. And that will do it. That'll be the final play of the first quarter. After 1, Liberty nothing, Lumberjacks nothing. We'll be back after this.
Established in 2007, the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is an independent, nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to enhance the educational experiences of Liberty Public Schools by fostering community support above and beyond what is provided by the district's normal operating budget. The board of directors consists of residents, retired educators, and business people whose commitment to public education in Liberty is strong and in the best interest of every child in the school system. The mission of the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is to help Liberty ISD enrich, maintain, and expand programs needed to ensure that each student reaches his or her full potential. The Liberty ISD Education Foundation believes that investing in our students today will return excellent leadership tomorrow. Established in 2007, the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is an independent, nonprofit 501c3.
Through 1 quarter, no score, Liberty and Diboll. Liberty in the red zone as they will have a 2nd down and 8 to go from the Diboll 9-yard line. Ball on the near hash. Liberty moving from my left to right. Neil, a
9-yard line. I'm sorry.
A first quarter that saw no scoring, but a lot of action by the Liberty offense. The officials waiting for the chains to be set.
Yeah, 21 plays in the first quarter.
2nd down and 8. Nolan hands this ball off to Austin Walker, who bounces to the outside, across the 5 and into the end zone. And Liberty is on the scoreboard. And we will have an injury timeout as they Diboll Lumberjack goes down. He's back up, and he is going to limp off the field. Liberty did not score in the first quarter, but first play of the second quarter they did on an Austin Walker run. Jaden Shemp, who kicked last week for Liberty, comes up for the extra point. Snap is back. Hold is down. The kick is up, and it is going to be good. And it's 7-0 Liberty with 11:53 left in the first half. You're listening to the Liberty Panthers Sports Network. More after this.
Hi, my name is Patrick Flowers, and I'm the varsity captain for this year's 2021 Liberty High School cross country team. And this year, it's going to be a great year. We had some runners who've been in the program for a long time. We got a couple of seniors and people like me. We got some juniors, and I'm really excited about this year because this is a year where I really think we might be able to win district, and that's huge because Huffman kind of dominates that, and it will be amazing, like huge for us to win district. So I'm really excited about this year, and something that drives me is just because I want to be great. And when being great, that comes with hard work, right? So every day, even though I may not want to do it, I have to get up and I got to go run, right? And you can apply that to everything in your life. No matter what you want to do, be great at it, right? Get up and strive to be great. Go Panthers.
Back in Liberty, Ross Norwood, Joe Roberts, Neil Thornton. It is 7-0 Panthers after they scored on the first play of the second quarter, and this ball is kicked by Shemp down the near hash. Jacoby Watts is on the loose as he crosses the 40. And is going to be brought down about the 46-yard line. There is a flag on the near side at the 40-yard line.
About a 36-yard return if he gets all of it. Scoring drive, 8 plays, 51 yards. Walker goes in from the 9-yard line on the slant to the right. Kick by Shemp was good. 7-0 at 11:53 of quarter number 2.
A hold against Diboll. It'll be marked off from the Diboll 40-yard line. I was going to say, Neil, I bet it's a block in the back or a hold, almost.
Just nearly always, yeah. When the flag's thrown there on the receiving team side of the ball, that's a shame. Take those yards away from that young man. I don't mind it being a Liberty fan, but he made a good return.
So after the 10-yard walk-off, Diboll will start their second drive of the game at their own 30-yard line. Shotgun formation, put a man in motion. Ball is going to be handed off
20
to James Johnson, who's going to go forward for, I would say, about 5 yards. They are going to mark it at the Diboll 35-yard line. Nice pickup by Diboll on first down. They break the huddle. Quarterback has a man to his left, and he's going to hand back off to Johnson, who's going to take it up the middle. And
4.
He's going to pick up about, 4 yards and a very manageable third down and short.
Yeah, less than 1, probably 2 feet.
Every athlete deserves elite care. As official healthcare provider of Liberty ISD, Houston Methodist treats your athletes with the same world-class.
Johnson is the back
Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
in the backfield. Dropping back is Ariano, and he is going to be taken down for a loss. William Waldrop with the sack.
Number 12, Ray.
And that will bring up fourth down.
William Waldrop on the stop. Brings up
And we are going to have a timeout from Diboll before this 4th down play. 10:07 left in the first quarter. Liberty leading Diboll, the second quarter. Liberty leading Diboll 7-0. We'll be back after this.
My name's Angel Reese, and I'm the varsity soccer captain. I've been playing this game for my whole life, as far as I can remember. This year, I'm really looking forward to it. We have a really solid team, and I know we can possibly win district champs, and I know we can with the hard work we've been putting in every single day. I have hope for my team, and in the end, it's all going to come, and it's going to all pay off in the end. But all we can do is hope. Go Panthers.
And Liberty Diboll has a 4th down and about 3 to go. And this ball's going to be handed off to Johnson, who cuts up the middle. And he is going to cross the 40 and be brought down at about the 43-yard line. And that is enough for a Diboll Lumberjack first down. Ariano is the quarterback for Diboll. They work out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. He's going to drop back, and he looks up the middle and throws a pass, but high, incomplete. Malika Amstead was the intended receiver for Diboll. Good coverage by the Liberty Panthers. Had a receiver, but it threw it into traffic and then threw it a little bit over the receiver's head.
Young quarterbacks have a hard time getting off of that primary receiver and looking for somebody else.
Johnson going to line up to the right. This ball is handed off to Jeremy Lloyd, who goes over to the far side and tries to cut forward, and he will gain about 2 yards, Neil?
About 2 yards, and we were fortunate to get by with that because number 20 out there, James Johnson, their running back, put a real good block on our defensive end. I thought it was going to spring him, but somebody got a hand in there and clicked his ankles together, and he fell over at the 45.
3rd down for Diboll. They have 1 4th down conversion on this drive. Ariano drops back, and he is going to be taken for a big loss by Bo Fowler. Fowler getting around that offensive line.
Untouched. Lost 10 yards on that play.
And Diboll will send out their punt unit. It is the 2nd time they are having to punt as this ball puts them all the way back at their own 35-yard line. Their punter standing inside the 25 at about the 24-yard line. Austin Walker is the deep man. This is a line drive kick. It is going to land inside the 40 and take a Diboll roll inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And that's where Liberty will start their 3rd offensive drive in this first half. 8:09 left in the half. Liberty leading Diboll 7-0. Neil, they picked up some positive yardage in that first drive, but it stalled out. And then that second drive, they were able to punch it in on an Austin Walker run.
Put some things together. One thing I will say about the Diboll team, they have been scouting Liberty. You can tell that they know their playbook about as well as our offense does. We're going to have to mix our plays up. The bad thing about them scouting them that well, the bad thing for them is they start to cheat and they start to lean. And the counters and the reverses, the inside reverses will take care of that.
Nolan back under center.
Like that. They read it, though.
And the run is going to be for no gain. Titus Bell, the ball carrier.
Yep, that's it.
Elijah Freeman, not Friedman. I added a D. the Lumberjack who made the stop on Bell, and Bell is not an easy guy to bring down.
No, he's a big, strong kid.
No gain on the first down play, second down and 10. Walker, or is that Goodo, in motion? And he is going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a decent loss here. About 5-yard loss. That was Austin Walker on the carry. So third down and long. The clock continues to run as it's ticking under 7 minutes.
Got the spread going here.
Spread out for the Panthers with Nolan in the shotgun. He drops back, looks downfield, has somebody coming after him, and he is going to scramble over to the far side. He's got a wide open receiver who catches it inside the 35. It is going to be taken down at the Diboll 30, and I did not. That's Gavin Fontenot, the intended receiver, who broke free from coverage. And Nolan, who was seeing pressure, was able to scramble out to the outside long enough for Freeman to get open. And they're going to spot this one at the 31-yard line.
Is that Fontenot or Freeman caught the ball?
Fontenot.
Yeah, 44-yard pickup.
Clock ticks under 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first half. Liberty back to the line quickly. This ball handed off to the inside to Titus Bell, who is hit but keeps those feet moving and gets down to the 25-yard line.
Pick up a 6. With the kind of offense that Liberty plays, kind of service academy offense, offense play, you've got to have a good, strong fullback. You've got to be able to bring those people to the middle.
Titus Bell going to come out of the game for a breather. Manny Freeman goes in. And he will line up behind Caden Nolan. And he is going to get the handoff and go up the middle across the 25 and down to about the 24-yard line.
20. Yeah.
They're going to give him the. Yeah, they brings up a third down and short. Needs to go to Titus Bell coming back into the game. Freeman going to run off. Bell behind Nolan, and he is going to get the ball, and he's going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage and taken for a loss of a couple of yards. And that'll bring up a fourth down, Neil, and you're in that territory where you have to go for it.
Yeah, I don't know that our new kicker's got that kind of. No, that'd be close to a 50, because he'd spot the ball about the 39. So yeah, they're too close to punt, too far to kick.
Gavin Fontenot comes out wide on the near side. Nolan rolls to his right. He's got an open Austin Walker, and it's in and out of his hands.
It's a shame that goes against Nolan, because that was a perfect pass. A lot of touch on that ball.
And that will be a turnover on downs for the Panthers. Their second turnover on downs.
Yep.
Turned the ball over on their first drive on downs, and now their third drive. Diboll will get the ball
at the 24-yard line.
They're going to mark 25. It at the 25, and they have 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Diboll used one of their timeouts earlier, so they have 2 remaining in the half. Ariano hands this ball off to Johnson, who comes towards the near side, and he is going to pick up a couple of yards on the first down play. Caleb Chandler making the initial contact with Johnson. Johnson's not a small back either.
No, he looks like a pretty large fella.
Had a nice breeze all day, Neil.
Till dark.
And it just died. Another handoff to Johnson on the inside, and he is going to move forward before he spins down.
That was Titus Bell made that tackle right there and saved a couple of yards. That was a nice tackle.
Makes it up to the Diboll 30-yard line. Under 3:15 left to play in the first half. Liberty leads Diboll 7-0. Liberty's first home game of the season.
3rd and 5 here.
Big 3rd down and 5 for Diboll. As this ball is handed off to Johnson, and he is not going to get much.
Lost a yard, I think.
And Liberty is going to spend their first timeout of the first half. It'll bring up a 4th down for Diboll with 2:51 left in the first half. Liberty Panther Sports Network. Liberty leads Diboll 7-0.
Business Professionals of America is like a student organization which allows you to participate in a variety of events that are best for Hi, my name is Eve White, and last year I made it to the national level for Business Professionals of America. Business Professionals of America is a student organization that allows you to compete in a number of events that are best for the kind of thing that you enjoy. There are speaking events, computer events, and all other kinds of events. I participated in BPA for every year since I was a freshman. I'm now a senior, and I'm really excited for the upcoming year. Even when you don't play, Business Professionals of America can be a really fun organization. Go Panthers.
Back in Liberty, a punt, high snap. The punter brings it down, gets the kick off, but it is blocked and goes straight up in the air. It will end up taking a Diboll bounce before a Diboll player is able to kill it. About a yard, a yard past where they needed to go on that for a first down. It'll be 1st down and 10. Great field position for the Panthers.
Yeah, that was a 7-yard punt. I heard the field announcer say 12, but that was a 7-yarder.
And we are going to have a Diboll timeout. It is their second taken timeout of the first half. 2:39 left. Liberty will begin their drive at the Diboll 37-yard line. Neil, I said earlier in the game that special teams played a big role in the win last week against Madisonville, and we've already seen some good special teams play tonight.
Almost played a bad role. Well, I say bad. That wasn't special teams, I guess. When the ball was taken away from the running back and run in for a touchdown, but they pinned the ball back on us one time on the 1 or the half-yard line. We overcame some good play by Madisonville last week.
Liberty with 2 timeouts remaining, 2:39 in the first half. Liberty wants to add to that 7-0 lead.
Slant.
Neil is calling a slant here. Nolan gets this. It's going to be a keeper as he pulls it down, heads straight up the middle.
I was wanting this slot back to just slant straight behind where the linebacker was at. But that worked out okay, too. What'd you call that, 2 or 3? Is that 2? That's more 2, I guess.
I think I'm going to go 2 yards there, Neil.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to give him 3.
Okay.
2nd and 7.
Yeah.
From the 35-yard line of Diboll. Clock ticks under 2:05. Liberty 2 timeouts remaining. They still have plenty of time. They have 2 wide receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side. Nolan, this snap way over his head. He is going to get back and drop on it to prevent the turnover. But that is going to be a large loss, as that ball is going to be spotted at the Liberty 44-yard line. High snap. Nolan jumped up, left his feet to try to get it.
21-yard loss on that.
And Diboll is going to take their final timeout of this first half. Almost said second half, but you know that would be weird if we had missed halftime.
Yeah, because Joe's got such a good halftime show lined up for us. We don't want to miss that.
Got an amazing halftime show lined up for us, Ross and Neil. What I don't have an amazing thing going on right now is my computer skills. I'm dealing with the Gremlins Part 3. This time it's personal.
Don't look at me. You know it's funny. You say Gremlins, and that was used last night. We were here for the middle school game. 8th grade team beating Diboll last night. 7th grade team scrimmage. But my younger sister, has a dog, and I promise you is one of the Gremlins. Sweetest dog you can see, but after dark can get a little crazy.
I'm going to take your word for that because I love you.
2nd down and 28. Nolan going to hand this ball off to Goodo, who's going to get free, and he is across the 30, the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 in the end zone for a touchdown, and there are no flags as the referee signals a touchdown. Neil, the previous play, a big loss, a big gain by Mason Goodo.
That's 2 carries in a row, 1 carry for 34, this carry for 56 and a touchdown.
1:37 left in the half. Liberty with a 13-0 lead pending Schimp's extra point attempt. The ball carrier that scored the touchdown will be the holder here. Good snap back. It's down. The kick is up, and it is going to be good. And a 14-0 Liberty lead with 1:37 left in the first half. We're going to take this break on the Liberty Panthers Sports Network. More after this.
Hi, my name is Tyus. I am 18. I am a senior at Liberty High School. And this year, I feel like it'll be our year because we've been pushing, putting the hard work in over the years. And I'm excited for this year because I feel like this school is going to be perfect. It's be my last year. And I feel like we'll drive and do big things. And my teammates, I know they can do it and help over the season and pick it up. Hold on, wait. That's a long 30 seconds. Long 30 seconds. And like, I feel like we got it in the back this year. Like, our bond is tighter and pause. Okay, I'm ready. And I feel like we can. I'm done. I can't do it. I can't do it. Go Panthers.
Ball is kicked off by Schemp. It is fielded by Jacoby Watts as he crosses the 20, but not much further. Well, it looks like they're going to give him the 24-yard line.
Yeah, forward progress. What's our number 4? Who's that number 4?
Quentin Johnson.
Nice tackle there. Put it right in his windshield.
Diboll starts this drive on their own 24-yard line. No timeouts.
Look for him to come out chunking. With, like I say, with no timeouts and a minute and a half left on the clock. They'd like to go in the barn with at least 1 score down, I know.
Jacoby Watts is the receiver to look for, Neil.
Yeah, seems like it.
Although I'm not seeing him out there on the near side is Colby Stewart. And this is going to be thrown incomplete over the head of their intended receiver, Stewart, as that ball was thrown down the near sideline. Austin Walker and Mason Goodo with the coverage. And had somehow Stewart made that catch, it would have been an offensive pass interference.
Yeah, he ran up Mason's back pretty bad.
Second down and 10 after the incompletion. 1:26 left. Liberty leading Diboll 14-0. Ariano hands this ball off to Johnson. He goes up the inside and is going to get a couple of yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and probably about 8. And Liberty will spend their second timeout of the first half. Diboll, no timeouts remaining, nor would you expect them to call a timeout right now with a long 3rd down. I said 3rd down and 8, Neil. It looks like it's going to be about 9 or 10.
Yeah, they just gave him 1. They just gave him 1 yard. Straight out to the 25.
14-0 Liberty as they call their second time out of the first half. Liberty Panther Sports Network, Ross Norwood, Joe Roberts, Neil Thornton, Richard Ewing, MacGyver.
I wish one of those boys would turn the camera on Richie.
Tell you what, the Swiss Army knife, he can make anything.
We need to hire somebody to just stand behind him and fan him.
He can make anything work with.
Give him enough wire and a little tape. He got it.
3rd down and 9. Ariano drops back. Pressure by the Panthers. He's going to let this one fly, and he has got a receiver at the 50-yard line. Jacoby Watts breaks loose of Manny Freeman, and he is across the 5 and into the end zone. And a big touchdown for Diboll. Neil, a good pass and good catch.
It was a good pass. 75 yards on that pass and catch. Number 1, Jacoby Watts.
Caught Watts in stride. Manny Freeman with the coverage. But he was going to have no shot at that ball. Ariano placing it perfectly. And Diboll gets on the board with 1:10 left in the first half. Brian Patlin on for the extra point. Snap is back. The kick is up. And it is good. And Diboll pulls to within a touchdown with 1:10 left. You're listening to the Liberty Panther, or watching the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Neil, tell us a little bit about that scoring drive.
3 plays is all. 3 plays, 76 yards altogether, 75-yard pass from Ray Ariano to Jacoby Watts. PAT's good. 1:10 of the half left.
Neil, we've got a camera on us now. I think Richard's
I shouldn't
fighting back. Hey, Mom.
I shouldn't have said anything. Does that increase our pay when we get on camera?
I don't think that's in the contract.
Get scale.
So Liberty will get the ball back, or at least Diboll will kick the ball to Liberty. Austin Walker and Gavin Fontenot are the deep men. And they're going to stand. Walker's going to move up to about the 28-yard line. Guess they'll both go up.
I'd be really watching for onsides here, that's for sure.
Diboll lines up.
But you know Diboll would love to go in the. Well, he went deep with it.
And this ball is going to be angled.
Fontenot got it.
To the far sideline. Fontenot has it.
Bounced out. Look at him.
He is going to try to get across the 30 before being pulled out of bounds at about the 33.
33 or 4 there.
They're going to give him the 34, Neil.
Okay.
A good return.
Really good return.
By Fontenot, who saw the hole close up. And he just bounced outside.
Here again, special teams on that kick coverage, especially kickoff coverage. It's so easy to try to go in there and get in on that tackle because you're running wide open. He goes to the middle, everybody pinches. All he's got to do is bounce out. Everybody's out of their lanes, and he gets around somebody.
Nolan hands this ball to the inside, and the ball carrier, Walker, will pick up a couple of yards, maybe 3. Under 45 seconds. Liberty can stop the clock once. They need 8 yards for a first down. That'll stop the clock as well, momentarily. But Liberty not in a hurry here. Under 30 seconds. Nolan hands this ball off to Goodo on the inside, and he is going to head towards the far side. And he is going to be taken down short of the first down. It is a first down.
Okay, I was thinking to say, because my math, I had 3 and 7 over here, so.
Liberty not going to line up for another play as this clock ticks under 5 seconds, and we will go into halftime with Liberty leading Diboll 14-7. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. We'll be back after this.
Yeah, got some good offensive and defensive stats here. Really kind of interesting.
Hi guys, I'm Liliana Mcnutt. I am a junior and I am in the theater program this year. This year I'm really excited. I've been doing theater for about 5 years now, and I think we have a really good group of girls and guys, and I just think that this year at One Act Play we're gonna perform like never before, and I think it's just gonna be an amazing year. I really love theater because all of the community and everything in it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this year. Go Panthers!
It is halftime in Liberty. As we look at a picture from our track camera, sideline camera, however you want to say it, some band members as they are waiting for their turn at halftime. But first, it will be recognition for the state champion Liberty Lady Panther softball team as they won state last summer.
Don't fail to mention that it was a second state championship in 4 years. Beginning to be a little bit of a girls softball dynasty down here in the corner of the state.
It's good to see some of these girls again.
Yeah, you did the state game, right?
Joe and I and Richie did the state game.
Yeah.
That was a fun opportunity that was all thanks to the Liberty Lady Panthers and head coach Karen Slack, assistant coach Joe Slack, and assistant coach Catherine McAdams.
That's amazing. 2 of those names that you just called out are my ex-students.
Wow.
As are you, by the way.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I can't. I mean, you know, I'm
yeah, don't be wow in there. You fit you fit right in there as well.
They will be getting their rings, their championship rings.
State
and
championship.
There is the state championship trophy.
We got a camera on it,
along with the rings. At about the 40-yard line as they are working on the inflatable down on the field.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what that was. I'm sorry.
And
there it goes.
Joe Roberts down on the field with our cameraman. And we're going to get a good shot of the table with the state championship rings on it, along with the trophy.
Right there.
Yeah, right here. And Neil, it really does seem like it was just yesterday that we were in Austin, and they had to deal.
Here they come.
With weather. It seemed like it rained every day when we were in Austin. Moved one of the games away from the softball field at the University of Texas. as the Lady Panthers make their way out.
It's a big ring. How about that?
Trying to see. It looks like Casey West. She is at Baylor this year. She was the state championship MVP for both state championships.
That's right.
Reagan Williamson. Kylie Bishop. I'm trying to come through the list. Macy Beam.
My neighbor down there, Holly Thomas.
Holly Thomas. She was a freshman.
Yes.
And it's interesting, Neil, because when they won the first state championship, you had Casey West, Jalen Pritchard, and Michaela Berkman were all freshmen.
Our 2021 state softball team.
All three big contributors.
Holly made all tournament, didn't she?
She did.
And she's a freshman, so we're looking at a whole lot of potential there for the next couple of years. She's also a great cross-country runner. Just can't keep those Featherstone kids down. They're just awesome out there.
Good to see.
These rings were well earned
it's such an achievement
by defeating Cal Allen High School in the state championship game at the University of Texas at Austin on June 5th by a score of 10
whether it's
to 3.
softball, football, baseball, whatever
The team finished with a record of 33-7 overall.
I think
We
sometimes
honor them by presenting
they make
them
it look easy,
with their 2021
but it is anything
state
but.
championship
Well,
ring.
they put a lot of time in. The training does that. They put a lot of time in on it. A lot of these girls have been playing since they were barely could walk, and a very good program here in town. There's the superintendent out there handing out the rings. Isn't that great?
Bailey Slack was also a freshman on that team.
Camden Chandler.
Tyler Bishop getting her ring from superintendent.
And now for our sophomores. Number 8,
Cody
Reese
Absher.
Evans. Number 17, Alex
Reese
Wiley.
She was the shortstop for the Lady Panthers.
Now for our juniors. Number 9, Kylie Bishop.
Kylie Bishop.
Number 5, Macy Bean.
Macy Beam, the junior on that team.
Number 1, Reagan Williamson.
Reagan Williamson coming through at first base.
And now for our seniors and captains. Number 2, Jalen Pritchard.
Jalen Pritchard being announced.
Casey West is accepting the ring for Jalen
And
Pritchard.
Jalen and
Number 10, Michaela Berkman.
Michaela Berkland were the other two seniors on the team.
And once again,
They could
Casey
not
West
be
will
here
be accepting
tonight,
that ring
so
for them. And also
Casey
number
West
7,
is accepting
Casey
both of their
West.
rings.
Got a good.
And it's spread out across somewhat to College Station, somewhat to Mississippi to play in select ball games. There goes
And head coach
assistant head coach Joe
Karen
Slack,
Slack.
Captain McAdams, coming up before that. And here is head coach Karen Slack.
We have this
who
community
is
to thank
also the
for the
principal.
tremendous support
Yep,
throughout
she
the
is
entire
this year.
season,
That's right.
but especially during the playoff run
Benisha Bendeley
and the
was
state
their
tournament
principal
games.
last year.
Thank you, Liberty, for being the best
Yeah,
representative.
you see most of the time you see these athletes at the championship level. The kids that are at the championship level have got some not other interests, but they've got some other league to play in. They play in 2 or 3 different leagues. They play all the time. They begin to specialize in one particular sport. That is way different than it was when you were in school, and it's certainly a lot different than it was when I was in school. The kid had quit playing baseball. The baseball season was over with in the early part of the summer, and he immediately put the glove up and picked up a football and got ready to go for the fall. He didn't go into another league someplace and play. But it's different now. These kids are specialized. Just the quality of the game's better too. So.
And at this moment, as you can see them fancy boxes,
Get a shot of their
open them
names
boxes.
here shortly. We're getting in. my first look, Neil, I think your first look at these beautiful.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our 2021 Liberty State Champs.
Something to be proud of.
It is. A lot of hard work went into that state championship.
A couple of those girls that got 2 of those, that's really something to be proud of.
The hard work that took place outside the season, during the season, from the coaching staff, the players, the parents.
Oh yeah, you can't imagine the parental contribution to this, chasing these girls all over the state. Like you said, in 2 or 3 different leagues, they play all the time. They play throughout the year. There's no telling how much motor fuel is burned up going from softball game to tournament to softball game all year long. But like I say, when you play that much and you play at that level, it pays off. You see it.
Anytime they fell down, they would punch right back. And in that series against Lake Belton in Game 3, had a bad inning.
They just refused to lose that game.
But did not let that affect them, as so many people would. And they saw the deficit, and they were able to come up. As the ladies make their way off the field, we are going to join our halftime show. Joe Roberts and myself had a chance to chat with head coach Chad Taylor.
Welcome, Panther Nation, to the halftime show. I'm Joe Roberts, alongside Ross Norwood, doing things just a little bit differently this week. Have head coach Chad Taylor with us, not in studio because he's so awesome. He's going to be remote and live with us. Welcome, Coach Taylor.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. I wish I was there, but you know how it goes.
I'm glad you're not here, to be honest with you.
No doubt.
All right, Coach. Let's just jump right into it. My heavens! Last week, Madisonville, you guys, it was a Dickinson sort of story, a tale of two cities, right? The week before in Huffman, the Liberty Panthers looked one way. Last Friday, completely opposite.
Well, we went into last week with a little different mindset. I think we kind of figured out a little bit against Huffman that we needed to probably get back underneath the center and get in our double wing set, and that was our approach all week long. And we went out there Friday night, and our kids executed it about as well as I've seen us execute since I've been here, and that was on offense and defense. So I take nothing away from our defense. Our defense was great. Thought we made some great plays on our special team. Had an opening 46-yard kickoff return to set up the first score, and then we blocked a punt. I mean, everything was rolling for us last Friday.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I remarked multiple times how last Friday, you looked so much more like the iteration of the Liberty Panthers from last season when you guys were rolling right before district play started. All facets of the game were working. You had two block punts? Was that what it was on special teams?
The second one, he actually shanked it, really.
Okay,
he missed it.
I think I gave him credit for a block punt, but it looked good no matter what.
Exactly. No, it was. I thought our kids did a great job, offensively, defensively, special teams. Our coaches did a great job last week. We kind of all had to readjust ourselves after that butt whooping that we took the week before, and I thought we all came out and coached as hard as we could. Our kids practiced as hard as they could, and then it just showed on Friday night, against Madisonville.
Yeah, Coach Stewart, the defensive coordinator, he had those boys swarming. It seemed like every single defensive play there were 4, 5, 6 Panthers all over the ball carrier.
That was definitely the case, and I like to sit there and say that they can swarm all night long when they only got to play 22 snaps. So, it's we were able to do exactly what we set out to do, which was to help keep our defense off the field, knowing that those guys at full throttle are going to be able to fly around and make plays. And man, I'm really proud of those guys. Bo Fowler sticks out in my mind as being one that every time I turn around, it seemed like he was making a play. And, that could be said for a lot of guys.
Yeah, we called Bo's name multiple times. One of the things that I thought was really awesome, Panther defense-wise, the quarterback for Madisonville, very, very athletic, just great feet, great vision in the previous game where they had played the Diboll Lumberjacks. And for the most part, it seemed like you guys had him bottled up.
We definitely did. I mean, you're right. The week before against Diboll, he went off. I mean, he did whatever he wanted to against Diboll, and we made that we knew that everything that they were going to do was going to go through him. So we kind of zoned in on him pretty good, and I think at the end of the day, our guys deserve a lot of credit for the way they played. And of course, he doubles up and plays on defense. So I think, and believe me, we found him on the left side, and we went right at him all night long. So he was going to get a double dose of the Liberty Panthers.
I love that, Coach. Ross?
Coach, talking about that quarterback, one thing can you talk a little bit about him dropping back and your defense being on him between the coverage that your backs had on their receivers and the fact that he was having to pull the ball down so quickly to avoid the pressure?
Definitely. I mean, we don't blitz a whole lot of players. We normally were getting pressure on him with just our 3-down linemen up front, and and then our outside backers, Bo, Quentin did a really good job of just kind of spying him. I think that was kind of their main goal this week, was to spy him and just not let him get loose outside and try to force him inside. And we did a great job. I can't sit there and say enough about the way our defense played and just the way our offense and defense complemented each other, and the way the kids were, supportive of each other on the sidelines. And, it was a great win, and it felt a lot better than it did the week before. And hopefully they like that enough to come out this week, even though I'm not going to be able to be there to watch them practice, but hopefully they want to feel that way again.
I was going to ask, you were without a couple of key players on the offensive side, and there was a change from week one at quarterback. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Probably going into our season, I would say that Jolin Curtis, and Alex Valtier were probably two of our better running backs, and both of those young men were quarantined last week. So we had to move some people around. We took Austin Walker and moved him from his quarterback position and moved him to the left halfback where Jolin was the week before. And then we just did a really good job throughout the week of practice of rotating guys in there. Dracory Bankhead at one halfback, Quentin Johnson at one halfback, rotated, Titus Bell, Manny Freeman, and Kobe Ewing at the fullback position. So we really just had a plethora of guys in and out of that huddle, if you know what I mean, running the ball. So I thought all of them did a really good job, and we had probably 5 guys that had 30 yards plus. So that was pretty good.
I was going to ask, during the game, your center went out, and Cord Carter, I believe, came in to fill that spot. And that's a name we don't know a lot about. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
Cord is a junior, and Cord is he's really smart kid. He's going to be in the top 10 of his class when he graduates. But Cord has played center, and when we went back to the double wing, we moved him to guard, and he was always our backup center behind Seth. And when Seth went out with his ankle injury, then it was, hey, slide to your right one spot, and now we got to find somebody to play guard. And I thought Joe Randolph, who we had missing the week before, due to, being quarantined, came in and I thought played really well, and held up well considering he's, not in the best of shape after having missed a couple of weeks of practice. But I thought Joe did a great job filling in Friday night as well.
Hey, Coach, one name that really stood out to me, you kind of used him as a Swiss Army knife, Mason Goodo. He was all over the place. He toted the rock. He caught some passes, playing defense.
Yeah, Mason, I think, when I look at, Mason and Austin, those guys are, definitely two of our more versatile players. They start on offense. They start on defense. I think Mason probably had 85 yards rushing. I think that touchdown pass he caught was about 42 yards. So yeah, we're going to get as many miles out of Mason, out of Austin as we possibly can, especially leading up to district. I got to get him in the best shape possible to be able to go play, 4 quarters on both sides. But those two guys, their summer work ethic was impeccable, and they deserve all the accolades that they get. I think I had one of them at 130 yards total offense and one of them at 126. So those guys are, if they can stay right there, we'll be successful.
A Liberty Panther Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood here on the halftime show with Liberty head coach, athletic director Chad Taylor via call-in this week. So if you're watching this, you kind of already have an understanding of what's going on. Coach, can you just real quickly lay out, because you are at home this week, lay out what your plan is for the coaching staff and how are the kids going to rally around this kind of a big change for this week?
Excuse me. I don't really think it's that big of a change whenever, our offense is what it is, and we're not really going to change it much. We just got to get better. So I think Coach Slack is kind of heading up the offense for me this week. Coach Stewart's still going to be doing what he does on defense, and they're just going to roll. I mean, it has nothing really to do with me. I'm hoping that they just show up and play well. And if you see a red truck down in the end zone with his blinker on to the left, that means we're probably going to run toss to the left, and vice versa. If it's blinking to the right, I'll be watching you guys Friday night from my house, and I think our kids will play well.
Yeah, I thought at least we'd have at least one viewer because you'd be watching.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach,
I'll be watching. Go ahead.
I was saying, I appreciate you being on.
I look forward to watching it live for the first time. So.
Well, one of the cool things that we brought on the sideline camera, and hopefully that didn't get too much in your way. And what'd you think about that interview on the sideline with Ross?
Well, I know he was having a hard time talking to you guys. He couldn't hear you guys ask any questions or anything. So, I liked it. And I'm all for you guys being able to give the best experience possible to anybody that's watching. And I mean, it's cool. I saw Daxton on the sideline with his camera, and I mean, I'm just hoping that it doesn't pick up almost everything we say.
Well, I think you're safe on that one. All right, Coach Taylor, appreciate you being in on this halftime show. Liberty Panthers Sports Network. I'm Joe Roberts with Ross Norwood. Coming up next, the second half kickoff. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Welcome to this live stream event of Panther Sports. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, Richie Ewing, Neil Thornton. All gas, no brakes. Let's get it.
4:39 left before halftime. Liberty leading Diboll 14-7 in Liberty. And the Liberty Band and Prancers making their way on the field. And our sideline camera getting some shots of the band and the Prancers as band director Sean Smith makes his way off the field. And the Prancers are going to do their routine. Now, some have asked, there are copyright issues, Neil, as to why we can't bring the halftime show in its entirety.
Because of the songs, because of the music. Yeah, because you'd be broadcasting, right? You'd be broadcasting a song in a. Are we?
We are going to give it a try, as you can see the pictures. But they can be sticklers about that, Neil.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got the algorithms that can do it in the snap of a finger.
I wonder if it's ASCAP or BMI that's doing that. That's
it's
catching
all,
those.
It's all of them.
All of those.
Yeah, between those and the actual whoever owns whatever label it is.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Don't give it away, Rich. You'll be proud to hear that.
And the Prancers now doing their traditional high kick. I did see former.
She's here. Absolutely.
LHS
Prancer Director Emeritus. Miss Rip, she's here someplace. I saw her a while ago.
Yeah, we saw her walking up earlier, and she has continued to be involved.
Well,
and she has continued to run the homecoming festivities down on the field.
She's right down here.
And she is right below us.
I'm sure she's grading those Prancers right now. Just out of habit.
The band coming off the field quickly. A great job by the band and the Prancers. And there is one more thing, Neil, that we're going to have at halftime as the clock rolls down. The Liberty High School law enforcement class, with the help of the high school FFA and Turrups, are making their way onto the field with 13 flags. We saw the team come out with the 13 flags to begin the game, and now we're going to have a moment of silence, Neil, to recognize the 13 service members who were killed in Afghanistan.
And all those that were injured.
And all that were injured. And Coach Higgs' class, law enforcement class.
Good evening. On this Friday evening, we would like to take a moment to remember the 13 American soldiers that recently lost their lives on August 26th.
August 26th,
as
Neil.
well as many others who were injured.
When a terrorist attack took them out.
Yes, our trumpeter's going to play taps.
That is correct.
13 American flags
and we
that
will
represent the 13 American soldiers
not only make our
that lost their lives
moment of
for our
silence,
country.
but listen to taps.
We ask that everyone please stand for the playing of the taps, and then followed by a moment of silence.
Liberty Panther Sports Network, Ross Norwood, Neil Thornton, Joe Roberts, as members of the LHS law enforcement class at FFA make their way off the field with 13 flags.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
That represent the 13 U.S. service members who were killed in an attack on August 26th in Afghanistan, and those that were injured.
And I'm sure this kind of tags in with tomorrow's anniversary as well. Quite an impressive ceremony for a bunch of kids. It really is. That kind of thing needs to go viral.
Coach Higginbotham, the director of the law enforcement class at LHS, does a great job, and they're very active. You see them at different school events, and they really have a love for law enforcement. And you know, I had an opportunity, Neil, to go into to the law enforcement class earlier this week. And he told me something I did not know about the law enforcement class, that when they graduate, they are certified as corrections officers.
Right, they can take the test.
Or security
Right.
officers. And that is a great opportunity and a great job by Coach Higginbotham.
I've substituted in his class quite a bit. Coach Higg had a few medical problems and things at the beginning of last year, and I actually opened up school for him for the first 3 weeks. And, you know, I've got a little bit of a correctional background as well, and talked to him. We started in the correctional, in his actual curriculum that he uses to prepare those kids for that test, and we started there. And it's quite a class. It's a good class.
Neil is not referring to
right,
time spent in his office.
No. No.
But your many years with the prison.
Yeah, well, no, not many, but, you know, enough to qualify.
Diboll will receive. The opening kick of the second half. Jaden Shemp will do the kicking for Liberty. 14-7. Liberty's lead over the Diboll Lumberjacks. 3 men back deep for Diboll. Two standing about
you
the
better count them.
Diboll 10-yard line, one in the middle of the field just behind. The kick is off, and it is going to get to the 20-yard line, and that's Watts. He picks it up.
They moved him forward. If you'll notice, they moved him forward. They're expecting that squib kick rather than putting him back as the deep back. They moved him up on the second line, and our kicker kicked it right to him trying to squib, but we managed to wrap him up.
So Diboll
33-yard line.
My accent coming out there, Neil. Diboll will start the second half with the ball, and they're going to spot that at the Diboll 33-yard line. Ariano, the quarterback. Johnson, the back to his right. He is going to drop back to pass, looks downfield, and he has an open receiver, Watts.
Ooh.
And Watts in and out of his hand
yes, it was.
at about the Liberty 30-yard line.
And here again, that's just like the one that Caden Nolan threw a while ago. It's a shame that goes on the quarterbacks, that kind of stat has to go on the quarterback's record there. That was a perfectly thrown ball. It hit the receiver right in the chest, and that's what happened. It hit him in the chest. He didn't put his hands on it before it hit him in the chest and bounced right off.
So a nice pass, but goes incomplete.
Brings
up 2nd and 10. Ariano hands this ball up the middle to Johnson, who crosses the 35 before being brought down at the 39-yard line.
I think they're going to give him exactly on the 40, almost.
Yep, they are going to give him the 40.
So a 7-yard.
Watching the line judge, and you know, Neil, I can't blame the vantage point on that one because they're right in front of us.
They are.
Third down, 4 to go. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 2 on the near side. This ball is going to be thrown. The intended receiver, Watts, to the far side, and Quentin Johnson gets a hand in and breaks up that pass, bring up 4th down.
Yeah, if he picks that, that's pick 6 right there. There was nobody in front of him. Just green grass and water, that's all.
4th down and 4, and Diboll will punt this ball, as it is going to be actually at the 30. It is at the 39-yard line.
The Coach Bill Pickens Memorial Scholarship was established on October 5th, 2019.
Let's see.
Liberty not putting anybody back on a 4th down and 4. They did this last week and were able to block one in this punt, a low line drive. Going to land about the Liberty 40 and roll dead inside the Liberty 35-yard line.
The 34, yep.
They're going to give him the 34, so a 3 and out for Diboll to open the second half. I think I called it the second half in the first half, and the first half now in the second half. Liberty with a 14-7 lead. First home game of the season.
Donations to the Coach Bill Pickens Memorial Scholarship can be made to the Liberty Athletic Booster Club.
First and 10 for Liberty from their own 34-yard line. This ball is carried by Austin Walker.
Out to the.
Some tough running by number 5, Austin Walker picks him up at the first down. Elijah Freeman on the stop.
To the 47.
Elijah Freeman on the stop for Diboll. It's enough for a first down. As the clock ticks under 10:40 in the third quarter. Caden Nolan, Jaden Shemp pitches this ball back to Mason Goodo. Goodo gonna fight back to the line of scrimmage and gonna be able to pick up about 2 yards on that carry.
I don't have anywhere to take it. I wonder where
that was Austin Walker, not Mason Goodo.
Just a reminder, folks, homecoming is next week.
9:56 left in the third quarter. Nolan has the play from Joe Slack. Titus Bell going to line up behind Nolan on the 2nd and 8. It's a pitch back to Austin Walker, who comes to the near side and is going to make it to the 50-yard line. A couple of more yards for the Panthers.
Well, I've been the missing person for most of the broadcast, Ross. What have I missed? What did I miss?
Well, there were 2 scores by Liberty, and one right at the end of the first half by Diboll, and a great tribute to the 13 fallen service members and the ones that were injured in that August 26th attack in Afghanistan.
Oh,
Mason
about
Goodo
an ankle.
Well, this
almost
has
broke loose.
Certainly been the dogfight that you and I discussed going into this. Never judge a book by its cover, and this has turned out to be one of those contests that we were expecting. Very close. Neither team really being able to get a leg up on the other one.
First punt of the night for Liberty. That looks like they're going to attempt to punt.
Liberty Panthers Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, Neil Thornton on stats, producer Richard Ewing. And I'm back up here so Ross can take a little bit of break real quick.
14-7 Liberty, 8:24.
He got a good one off.
A boomer high punt, fielded on the near sideline, hash mark by Watts, who cuts across the field, gets across the 20, going to be brought down by the Panthers at the Diboll 23-yard line.
We'll trade punts like that all night long.
Shemp, not the normal kicker for Liberty, but he has now done the kicking for the last 2 weeks and has done a fantastic job.
Really has. He's learned a lot. He was having trouble getting the I know he's a soccer player. He was having trouble getting the ball off the ground, getting the football off the ground on his kickoffs last week. But it looks like he probably worked on it a little bit. He's 2 for 2 on his PATs tonight. Nice punt, nice kickoffs. Really doing a good job.
Diboll starts at the Liberty 22-yard line, back into that shotgun formation with 2 wide receivers on each side. Dropping back to pass is Arenado, and he is going to get Watts on the far sideline, and he is going to be taken down. But it's enough for a first down.
Brings it out to, what, about 33, I think? It looks like about 12 yards on the pickup.
Austin Walker with the stop on that far sideline. Clock will stop, set to change. It'll be first down and 10 from the, what'd you say, Neil?
I said 33. I guess it's, yeah, 33-ish.
About the 33-ish, yeah.
Knows the ball's right on the 33, I guess.
So we've seen Watts tonight very involved with this offense. We said at the beginning that he would be a receiver to watch. He and Ariano, the quarterback, like to hook up. This ball handed off onto the inside by Johnson. He's across the 40, and he is going to be brought down at about the 49-yard line of Liberty, and a nice pickup. That's the longest run for Johnson tonight. He's gotten a number of touches, Neil.
Yeah, that's the, let's see, that's about his 9th carry. That was an 18-yard pickup, so he's got 45 on the night so far.
Diboll picking up the tempo. They're back at the line, no huddle. A swing pass, the intended receiver Watts, and it's in and out of his hands on that far sideline.
He heard those footsteps and didn't like what he heard at all.
I believe that was Titus Bell.
If Titus was stomping at me, I wouldn't like it either.
Second down and 10.
I just was kidding a while ago, Ross. There's so much going on up here behind the scenes. You're an only child tonight. Sorry about that, bud.
Second down and 10. Same spread formation. Quick pass down the middle on a slant. That looked like a slant there.
It was.
Watts, again, the intended receiver, in and out of his hands. As there were a host of Liberty Panthers ready to take him to the ground had he made that catch.
That was almost blocked, blocked at the line. Looked like it went right through. I don't know whose hands that was. I guess that was Titus Bell's hands. He's playing on that defensive end over there. Or well, I guess he's at the tackle. But it went right through his hands. I don't know how he kept from tipping it.
3rd and 10 for Diboll. Dropping back is Arenado. He's going to look to the near sideline, and he throws to the outstretched hands of Malik Amstead. It is incomplete and brings up a 4th down, and Diboll going to send out their punt unit. I feel like we're getting on a first-name basis with these guys.
Yeah, that's a shame. He didn't. Well, I don't want to be a homer here, but we're pulling for Liberty. But I like the offense that Diboll's running, and just a little bit more accuracy with the passing, and this would be a completely different ballgame. Completely different.
Punter standing inside his own 40-yard line at the 39. Nice snap. Kick is up. Fair catch signaled by Mason Goodo as that punt headed over to the punter's right.
About what, the 22-yard line looks like?
22-yard line. As a matter of fact, Goodo fielding that one about the far hash. I'll get the hash right, Neil, at some point. 7-12 left in the 3rd quarter with a 14-7 Liberty lead.
We need a score here.
They were stopped. Liberty was on their first drive out of the second half. This ball is going to be pitched. Believe that is.
I think it's Austin Walker.
Austin Walker. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the first down play. 14-7 Liberty. Second down and 10 from the Liberty 23-yard line. All the scoring happening in that second quarter, Neil, as Mason Goodo gets the pitch and heads to the far side.
Yeah, he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage, I don't think. I think he got pushed back by one, maybe. Oh, no, they're not moving the down box, so maybe they at least gave him the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a tight one. The Diboll was ready for them. Seven-point lead, Neil. You said it. Be nice if they could punch this in.
Yeah, because anything can happen. Get that 7 point. You know, any freak play, recovered fumble, anything can get a score.
Tight set from Liberty. Nolan looks over the defense, decides to change the play, and this ball is going to be pitched back to Mason Goodo, who is going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I think they maybe gave him one. Let's see.
I said Mason. That is Austin Walker.
Was it?
Yeah, I tell you what, I need my eyes checked.
Well, when they're in that tight formation like that, immediately you have a crowd. It's hard to pick up a number because you've immediately got a crowd of people. No, they didn't give him anything on that.
Shemp going to come on to punt, and he will be standing on his 11-yard line.
Pretty good snap here.
I believe that's Watts, the deep man. Good snap. Shemp with a punt. As it's going to land
ball
just short of the 50. Roll into Diboll territory and be killed.
48.
At the 48 by Gavin Becker.
So punt, punt, punt. 4 punts just back and forth here in the beginning of the third quarter.
4:59 left in the third quarter. Liberty's defense comes out.
Well, they need to hold them here, and I'm kind of suspect of the coverage. It's all single. If you notice, it's all been single coverage.
Spread out, 2 wide receivers on each side. Deep pass.
Yeah, no.
And it is going to be well over the head of the intended receiver, Malik Amstead.
Ariano's now 3 for 12 on the night.
Gavin Becker with the coverage for the Panthers. Clock stopped at 4:54 in the third quarter in Liberty. First home game of the season. The Liberty Lady Panther softball team getting their championship rings at halftime. Ball is handed off to Johnson, who comes across the 50, goes out to the outside.
There's the football.
And fumbles the ball at the 40, and Liberty is able to get on it. A fumble recovery as that ball was just punched.
Was that 44? What's that boy's last name?
Colby Ewing.
Yes, it was.
I think somebody up here might know him.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And a fumble. And Liberty will take back over from their own 24-yard line. A big turnover.
You get picked up 18 yards on that's a shame. But you got to put both hands on the ball.
Nolan gives this one off to Titus Bell, who goes up the middle. And he's going to keep his feet churning for a nice gain on first down.
What was the original line of scrimmage there? About the 23?
I believe so.
Okay.
4-yard pickup on first down. Panthers in their traditional tight set. Nolan under center.
Oh, boy.
And the offensive line got a head start, and that'll cost Liberty 5 yards. And those are tough. As the Panthers will go from a 2nd down and 6 to a 2nd and 11.
That's the first penalty on the night for the Panthers, 2nd penalty of the game.
Second and long. This ball is going to be pitched, I believe, to Goodo.
Yeah, it was.
And he is immediately met behind the line of scrimmage.
No gain again.
I think they're going to give him a little bit of a loss there. No, you know what, Neil? I was thrown off. I forgot about the penalty.
Okay, so they did give him. He had picked up 4, and they got a 5-yard penalty, so it made it -1. It's still -1, so it was
got
no
back
gain.
to the line. Big 3rd down. Nolan rolls out to the near side and throws this one. Intended receiver Mason Goodo just under. Just underthrown. Goodo was across the 50. Kevon Freeman.
Caden Nolan 2
and
for
Malachi
5.
Mitchell with the coverage.
Caden 2 for 5 tonight for 49 yards.
Shemp will come back out to punt as a 4th and 11.
He needs to get one off here and kick it at the sideline.
Ball on the far hash. Shemp will stand on his 10-yard line.
And see, here's where you need the 2-score lead because of.
And a nice end-over-end punt fielded by Watts, who crosses the 50.
Nice
before
coverage
being
there.
Taken down.
It was Austin Walker on the coverage. That was really good.
At the 48. And another good punt by Shemp.
5 straight, let's see. No, excuse me, 6 straight. 6 possessions, 5 of them ending in a punt, 1 of them ending with a fumble. So, defensive struggle here in the second half, that's for sure.
3 minutes and 4 seconds. Diboll will start this drive in their own territory at their own 49. Johnson, the lone back, to the right of the quarterback, and he is going to go downfield down the near hash, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Colby Stewart. Mason Goodo with the coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Liberty leads Diboll 14-7. Neil, what do you do here as the Diboll coach? Do you keep, they've been throwing at their
I'd run a draw play.
Here, and Johnson's shown an ability.
Either Johnson or a quarterback draw play. Make it look just like a pass.
To get through a tough defensive line. Dropping back again, this time thrown to the far sideline. Manny Freeman with coverage. Malik Amstead.
Now they're in desperation.
Every athlete deserves elite care. As official healthcare provider of Liberty ISD, Houston Methodist treats your athletes with the same world-class team.
Who did number 3 just went out? That's Kean Reed. Who replaced him?
I did not see that. I want to make a correction. That was Gavin Becker on the coverage. Those numbers giving me fits again.
Ariano's coming in with a play from the sideline, so.
3rd down and 10 from the Diboll 49-yard line.
Call
and
time.
We are going to have a timeout by Diboll as the play clock had gone down. With 2:53 left in the 3rd quarter, Liberty Panther Sports Network, Liberty leads Diboll 14-7. More after this.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Mumphrey, senior. Okay.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Mumphrey, senior varsity cheer captain. I've been cheering for all of my life. I've been on varsity 3 years. I recently moved from Dayton, but I'm so glad to be a Panther now. Our cheer team is pretty good. We're a family in its own. We sweep the competition at cheer camp this year, and I hope that sets the tone for the rest of the year. We have such an amazing team. Our varsity and JV are really, really good, and I'm excited to see what we do this year.
Back in Liberty, big 3rd down and 10 play for Diboll from the Liberty 49-yard line. Diboll spreads out. Ariano drops back, pressure by Colby Ewing, has to roll to the far sideline and throws incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down. Ewing disrupting the quarterback on that. Had to throw it a little sooner than he wanted to. Neil?
Been getting a little pressure on him. Sending a linebacker, not every play, but more often than not, you've got a linebacker coming as well. They're putting.
Can we officially call this the longest quarter in history?
I would say it's the punt bowl. Here is the punt, almost blocked. Fielded by Mason Goodo on the far sideline. He's going to cut across the field. Decides he sees a hole. Tries getting back up the middle before being spun down.
18-yard line.
At the Liberty 18-yard line. Armstead with the punt. Liberty with a 14-7 lead, 2:36 left in the 3rd quarter. And Joe, I concur, this seems like the longest 3rd quarter.
Especially, this is very non-typical Liberty, how they generally get the ball and just run clock off like crazy, making first down after first down. It's just not happening this quarter.
Ball handed off.
Titus Bell.
Titus Bell, who's on his feet across the 35, Titus. Still on his feet.
Yeah, he did.
That was a 25 and taken down.
Out to the 33 from the 18, 15-yard pickup and a first down by that strong man.
That was an impressive run. As the Diboll defense doing everything they could short of trying to steal his wallet.
Let's see.
Double tight set, this ball given off to Walker, who goes to his right. And he is going to pick this.
Yeah, if you look, they're in a, I don't know what you call it, a split T. They're not in their double tight
that is
with a
correct.
fullback. They had a halfback back there with them. So
6-yard pickup on first down. Bring up 2nd down and 4. Clock ticks under a minute 30.
They're back in the double wing there now.
A handoff to Titus Bell.
No.
And he is.
See where the spot is. They're going to give it to him at the 41, so that's going to be 2 yards.
2 yards, and those are a hard-fought 2 yards. As he was met with contact right away. But he has shown in his career as a Panther his ability to just keep those feet moving and let his strength.
It's a shame, though, he's having to depend on that. We're not taking up the slack in the front line. If you'll notice, Diboll's line is getting off the ball as quick as we are. They're taking the slack up on us.
Freeman
That's
comes
a little better.
And he gets the inside handoff. And he is going to be stopped.
I think he went back a yard. Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's going to lose a yard on that, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Excuse me, that was 3rd down.
Manuel Freeman on the carry looks like a loss of 1. It's going to bring up 4th down, 4th and 3.
Liberty's offense still huddled up. as they will let this clock run down, and that will do it. A scoreless third quarter in Liberty. On to the fourth. Liberty leading 14-7.
That is the end of the third quarter. Liberty Panthers 14, Lumberjacks 7.
Ok, mi nombre es Alan. Les voy a presentar esta canción, se llama La Mejor de Todas. Y eres más de lo que anhelo, eres el regalo que cayó del cielo. Quiero estar siempre a tu lado, hasta tus defectos me han enamorado. Y no puedo compararte, yo no he conocido a nadie que te iguale. Y eres la mejor de todas, para describirte las palabras sobran. Y la protagonista de mi nueva historia, la que es buena amante si estamos a solas, la que ella es feliz y siempre está presente y gasta su tiempo solo en complacerme. Y eres algo más que el amor de mi vida, y eres el motivo de mis alegrías. Cuando estoy contigo no corren las horas, porque tienes todo lo que me enamora. Eres en pocas palabras la mejor de todas. Go Panthers.
Jaden Shemp just hit a boomer. And down to the 26-yard line.
54 yards on that punt.
We're trying to get a computer cord.
See if you can run under that chair.
To reach another power source, as one of our power sources has decided to go down. Neil Thornton, our statistician. And there will be a flag, and it's going to go against Diboll. False start against Diboll, push them back 5 yards. Be a first down and 15 as they get pushed back into their own territory even further. 11:50 left in this ball game. Liberty scoring 14 points in the second quarter. Diboll scoring a touchdown right before the half. No scoring in the third quarter. As this ball is handed off to Johnson, who is immediately met by a host of Panthers, and it looks like he may lose a yard.
I think they're going to leave it right there.
They are going to leave it right there. Official on the down box kind of psyched me out there as he started moving the down box towards the Diboll end zone. Second down and 15, Diboll.
11-yard line.
Spreads it out. Johnson, the back. This ball is an inside handoff to Watts, who tries to make it around the corner, and he does pick up some. Colby Ewing with the stop for the Panthers. And he is going to get close to the original line of scrimmage, Neil, and they are going to give him that. Third down and 10 now. Pick up of 5 yards.
They could have very easily called him for motion because his first step was forward.
Well, and I noticed that
before the ball was snapped.
There was a, I guess it would have been the right tackle, looked like he was right there on the edge of getting in a head start.
Yeah. May have been a cadence problem.
Diboll's band playing now to try to give him some juice. Drops back, Watts has it, catches it at about the 30.
No,
26-yard line.
See where they spot him.
It is enough for a first down.
12 yards.
A 12-yard pickup. Ariano to Watts. Over the middle. Big pickup. Big first down. Getting a little more Breathing room. This ball is snapped back. Ariano cannot catch it. It goes off his hands. And it does look like Diboll was able to.
Did they keep it? Did they keep
it? They did keep it.
Lost 4, though.
That was lucky, Neil.
Yeah. It was. What's our new line of scrimmage now? 27?
It looks like
26.
26-yard line, says our producer, Richard Ewing. Inside handoff to Johnson, who is going to cross the 30-yard line before being brought down by Grayson Whelan.
James Johnson on the carry, brought down by Cole Bishop. Bring up 3rd down and 7.
Actually, that was Cole Bishop. Low snap again. Pressure by the Panthers. I see William Waldrop, Colby Ewing.
The linebacker crew, wrecking crew.
The wrecking crew for a big loss.
Yeah, back to the 22. That's 9 yards off there.
So tack on that, and it's 4th down and 19. Titus Bell has come out of the game. As the punt from Diboll, a low line drive, fair catch by Goodo, and he will catch it and go down to a knee at the Liberty 44-yard line. Good field position for the Panthers to start their drive. Neil, this has really turned into a second half of punts.
It's a punt fest, and we're winning it. If you'll notice, how many punts is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 punts back and forth between them. But we've got we have the better punter. Now we're getting the ball, receiving the ball on the punt in their territory.
Yeah, I mean,
we're just winning the war of the punts here.
That boomer, I think you said 54 yards by Shemp.
Yeah.
Liberty moving from south to north, our right to left. Nolan under pressure throws this ball. The intended receiver who goes down was Gavin Fontenot.
Yeah, he was trying to come back on the ball a little bit, and he and the defender got tangled up some, but it wasn't. They weren't going to call interference on that. Both of them are headed towards the ball. So,
and not surprisingly, Jacoby Watts had the coverage for Diboll.
Yeah.
He has been all over the field on both sides of the ball.
Uh-oh.
A fumbled snap, and Diboll
sure did.
Will get it back. Jeremy Lloyd going down on it, and it will be a turnover for Liberty.
Number 10, Jeremy Lloyd recovered the fumble for the Lumberjacks.
And a turn of events, Neil, on the fumble. They'll get it at the 40-yard line, at the Diboll 40-yard line. 7:42 left in the game, a 14-7 Liberty lead. Arenano is going to come back out. Johnson, the back to his right. Watt runs a crossing pattern, but it is overthrown and incomplete on the first down play.
Got to hold them, get this ball back. That's what I'm saying. That 7-point lead. Any mistake, bad snap to the punter. Snap it over the punter's head. They score, kick, go for 2, win the ball game. You got to have two. You got to make them make 2 trips down the field, at least.
Second down and 10. Watt on the near side. This ball handed off to Johnson.
Oh, and they smell that one out.
And he is going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Neil, would you say it's a loss of?
I think two, yeah. The 38, 37, 38. -2. Titus Bell back in the lineup there.
3rd and long for Diboll. They have.
Johnson's just been a workhorse. He's carried the ball 13 times already. Only got 66 yards because he had a couple of losses.
They're keeping their. Oh, it's a 3rd down and long, not 4th and long. Pressure by the Panthers as Arenillo.
Careful.
Is going to be brought down for a loss, sack. And on that sack, William Waldrop, Kobe Ewing, Ariano. I don't know why I keep mispronouncing that last name. I apologize.
He's been sacked, from what I can see, he's been sacked 4 times tonight for a loss of 25 yards altogether.
Amstad will be the punter, standing inside his 25-yard line.
Send the schoolhouse. Send them all.
That is what it looks like as Liberty snap is back. Almost a blocked punt, but it's popped straight up, and it will go out of bounds at the Liberty. What is that, the 40s? We will continue the battle of the defense with 6:05 left. 14-7 Liberty
46.
after this.
I'm about to run out of. They can't do this very much.
Back in Liberty. Liberty getting the ball at their 46-yard line after the punt. They lead. This ball is pitched back to, I believe, Johnson, the ball carrier, Quentin Johnson.
No,
that was Mason Gano.
Mason.
These numbers, Neil, are giving me a fit. I think I need to go make an eye doctor appointment.
They're kind of tall and skinny. You don't have near as much contrast on that black and gold as you do on the red and white.
And they are all wrinkled up. Richard Ewing with the assist there under 5 minutes and 30 seconds as this ball is snapped. And it is going to be pitched back to Austin Walker, who comes up the middle. And he will have a nice pickup on 2nd down as he crosses the 50-yard line down to about the 40. They're going to mark that at the 49 or 48-yard line.
3-yard pickup.
And they are going to mark it at the 49-yard line. Liberty needs 5 yards to keep the drive alive. Under 5 minutes to play here with a 14-7 Liberty lead.
In this half, we've had 1, 2. Diboll's had 3.
Pitch to Austin Walker, who is caught up behind the line of scrimmage, and he will lose a couple on 3rd down, and that will bring up 4th down.
Austin Walker to carry. Not much there. It's going to bring up 4th down. Ben Smith will stop for the Lumberjacks.
Nolan on the sideline talking with Joe Slack. And they may be just going to run this play clock down to run more time off.
Yeah.
Is they lost a yard on that 3rd down play, 4th down and 6. And timeout as the play clock goes down to 1. 3:58 left in this one, Neil.
Oh.
How many punts have we had in this second half?
Man. Let me count them. Diboll's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diboll's punted 5 times. Liberty has punted 4 times. Diboll's fumble once and Liberty's fumble once. So it's been back and forth. Nobody's gotten inside the 20. Well, I don't think anybody's gotten inside the 20. Let me check.
I don't believe.
Yeah, one time we had the ball at the – no, we were inside the 20 down here. That's when we started.
Shump
No,
comes out to punt. He's going to stand inside his 40-yard line at the 39-yard line and try to pin Diboll deep. Good snap. A line drive. Watt is the receiver. He catches it, moves to the near side. Fumbles the ball, but goes down on it, and we have a late flag coming in from the line judge on the near side of the field.
Let's see what we got here.
There is a flag on the play.
Offsides them, maybe?
I don't know. It came in pretty late, and there was a tackle by a Diboll player.
Oh, and it would be a hold.
As the line judge and the referee are going to discuss it. And, of course, this is a lot like the instant replay, Neil, will probably be wrong.
Coach Slack's over here saying, what's the laundry about? Let's go. Call it. Is he picking it up?
He is going to pick it up. And it will be a block in the back against Diboll.
Oh, here we go. So, yeah, so we're going to get half the distance here. Yeah.
So Diboll will start this drive deep in their own territory.
Yeah, we'd have to get the ball to be in the red zone.
Diboll down 7 points. 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in this game.
I hope you're right.
This ball thrown to the far side. It is caught by Colby Stewart, who is taken down, but not before he can pick up a first down. A quick strike pass. Mason Goodo was with the tackle.
How many did he get?
I want to say 10.
Yeah, it's on. Is it on the 20? Yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
So it's 10 yards.
Clock going under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Ariano drops back. He throws this one deep, and it is caught at the 40-yard line by Moses, and he will be taken down at the Liberty 29-yard line. Talk about flipping the field position, a 51-yard pickup on the pass and catch. Caden Nolan with the tackle. Quickly back to the line, drops back again, and we are going to have flags and whistles before this play can get off the ground.
Well, there was a good bit of holding over there. I'm sure they're going to call some kind of motion, but their left tackle had our defensive end by the shirt.
It is going to be a false start. False start against Lumberjacks. It'll move them back 5 yards. Neil, on their last drive, they had the same thing happen on a first down play. Diboll getting a head start.
This time it gets called, though.
Clock under 3 minutes. Liberty's defense trying to hold their 7-point lead. Spread out. A drop back.
Hey, get on that ball.
And an incomplete pass in the backfield. Johnson, the intended receiver, and Neil, that was close.
I would like to have. I wish we did have replay. I'd like to have seen that. I don't think that ball was forward. I think that was close to being a lateral.
Yeah, he threw it to his left to Johnson. And from my vantage point, it did look like it was.
And we got the good vantage point because he was right straight in front of us.
Incomplete pass, second down and 15. Again, drop back, pressure by Liberty. Mason Godot comes in to try
Mose.
to make a play, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver, Colby Stewart.
That was a dangerous pass, and that's just, here we go again, young guys, you got to throw that ball hard. You got to zip that ball, and when that ball stays up that long, and you got an athlete like Mason Godot on the coverage, it's anybody's ball.
A great job in coverage by Godot, and the linebackers in line were able to put a little pressure on Ariano. Brings up 3rd and long. Drops back. Heaves this ball down the far sideline. And it is going to be incomplete. There was contact. Mason Godot made contact, but that ball was over the receiver's head.
The umpire was calling it uncatchable.
And
Or the back
uncatchable. And that will bring up 4th down and 15 to go. Neil, what do you do here?
They got to go for it.
You've got to go for it.
They got to go for it.
I don't know why I asked the most obvious question there.
I
lost track of time of the
here
game.
He comes, okay.
With 2:30 left, down 7, you do have to go for it.
You better hurry or call timeout. Yeah.
They are going to call their timeout. And, Neil, I had not done a good job of catching up, but if the scoreboard is right, that is their 2nd timeout of the half.
I think so. I don't have a way to mark. I should be a way on here to mark them, but I don't have a way on my program to mark them. But the scoreboard is showing that they've got 1 left.
Neil,
we have 2.
You get the call from the Diboll coach. He says, give me an offensive play here on 4th down and long.
4th and 15. He needs to make doesn't need to worry about the touchdown. He needs to worry about the 1st down on this. And here again, I think I'd run everything they've been running, all their pass plays have been deep. I'd run either a screen, not a bubble screen, a straight screen, or a draw either to that running back that's beside me, which is probably where I'd go because he's a whale of an athlete. Just a draw play to number 20, or maybe a quarterback draw. Something to pull that coverage back, make Liberty's coverage go deep, and then get somebody in underneath. You just need a 1st down here, not a touchdown.
They have to go to the 20-yard line for the 1st down. Coming out of the timeout, 2:30 left in this ball game. This is a crucial play.
Halfback pass.
Halfback pass. Watts drops back to throw it. He has a receiver.
Mason, it hit Mason right in the head. He was face guarding him the whole way. Never saw the ball coming. It hit Mason right on top of the helmet.
Incomplete pass and a turnover on downs.
That was, I hate to say it, that was strictly luck because he was beaten. But the pass, of course, a halfback doesn't, if he could throw real well, he'd be playing quarterback. So he lofted the ball real, real high and not very deep. And the receiver was going to have to come back on it to have any chance at all.
So with 2:24 left in this game, Diboll with 1 timeout remaining. Liberty
needs to make some 1st downs.
Nolan under center gives this one right back to
Titus
Bell, who comes across the 35, and he is going to make his way up to
about the 40, about the 38, 37. Yeah, 8.
Under 2 minutes left. Liberty with a 7-point lead.
Go clock.
Yeah, that clock needs to move a little faster. Back to the line, under 10 seconds on the play clock. Another handoff to Titus Bell, and he is going to go forward.
Yeah, he did.
And he is going to pick up the 1st down as he is brought down at the Liberty 45-yard line, and a new set of downs for the Panthers as they keep that clock running. Ball on the near hash.
Titus Bell's had 13 carries for 50 yards tonight.
Break huddle. Still 14 left on the play clock. Snaps it just under 10. And it is a QB keeper. Caden Nolan gets free, and he is going to pick up. Neil, what would you say that is?
Oh, man, 13 yards, I think, altogether.
13-yard pickup, a new set of downs. Clock stops momentarily for the change to be set. It is wound again, and we are at under 50 seconds to play. First down and 10. And the Panthers in victory formation go to a knee. And that is going to do it as Liberty holds on. A 14-7 win by your Liberty Panthers. We'll talk about it more after this.
Established in 2007, the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is an independent, nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to enhance the educational experiences of Liberty Public Schools by fostering community support above and beyond what is provided by the district's normal operating budget. The board of directors consists of residents, retired educators, and business people whose commitment to public education in Liberty is strong and in the best interest of every child in the school system. The mission of the Liberty ISD Education Foundation is to help Liberty ISD enrich, maintain, and expand programs needed to ensure that each student reaches his or her full potential. The Liberty ISD Education Foundation believes that investing in our students today will return excellent leadership tomorrow.
Back, the victorious Liberty Panthers, 14-7 win over the Diboll Lumberjacks. And we are going to be joined now remotely by head coach Chad Taylor. Coach, big win.
Yeah, I mean, you take any win you can get at this point in the game. So, I mean, it was, both teams struggled offensively tonight. And, I guess they may have punted once or twice more than we did. But at the end of the day, we scored more points than they scored.
Defense for Liberty doing a great job to hold Diboll to 7 points. And, Coach, Diboll showed the ability to get it down the field long on the pass plays, but great coverage by your defense.
Yeah, I thought for the most part we did a pretty good job. I mean, we were up 14-0, and we had them pinned back there pretty good right before the half, and they completed a deep corner route, which if you guys remember correctly, we've given up at least one of those a game. And so something we definitely need to work on moving forward.
You've got a guy in Jaden Shemp.
That's your player of the game.
Who did a wonderful job all around, but really on the punts.
Well, last week we didn't punt at all because we were struggling with our deep snapping. And this week we went to we put our quarterback as our deep snapper. Caden Nolan was our deep snapper tonight, and we were able to get some good snaps on our punts and also on our PATs. So, yeah, I mean, you just got to keep plugging.
So he is a guy that started kicking, if I'm correct, last week for you guys.
Last week he came out on Monday, as a matter of fact.
Titus Bell with another nice game on both sides of the ball. Is that kind of what you come to expect for Titus?
I mean, it's definitely what we expect because he has no choice. He's the best fullback we got, and he's also the best defensive tackle we got. So he's going to have to play a lot. He's going to have to get in shape. He's going to have to, play considerable minutes moving forward.
Diboll always plays Liberty tough, and today was no exception. Talk about how tough it is, or how tough it was for your team to kind of hold on and not get down. I know they had the lead, but 7-point lead, and you're having to punt a lot. Talk about that defensive performance.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, they played outstanding as to be expected. But, let's be honest, punting the ball is part of the game. And, sometimes you got to use that to your advantage. A couple of years back when I coached in LaPorte, we played the Katy Tigers. We punted 11 times. They punted 12 times. We won 9-7. And so, it was just it's just part of it. And you got to execute, and we executed well tonight. I mean, we'll go to the drawing board, and those guys brought something at us that we didn't anticipate. 5 guys up front that are about 280 to 290. We had Big Juan missing tonight because of the funeral of his grandfather today, and we had some injuries last week to some key linemen. So, to scratch out a 14-7 victory, hey, we'll take it and we'll celebrate, and then we'll regroup and move forward.
Coach, big victory, considering all those things that you just talked about. One of the things that I know you're looking for is the ability to win big, but also to be able to dig down deep and get this kind of win. You got some monsters coming up in district play. How's this kind of game going to help you prepare for the Goliaths in district?
Well, I mean, I think definitely it just lets you know that you can win one close. Last year, you guys remember we lost a lot of them close, and by 7 points or less. So, it was nice to get one tonight. It was definitely hard sitting on this couch and watching. I will admit that was probably one of the hardest things I've done in the 20-something years I've been coaching. This is the first game I've ever missed, and good thing about it is I can't get this virus for another 5 months. So I'm going to make it through the rest of the season.
All right, Coach, thank you for joining us remotely. Liberty Panther Sports Network, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, Neil Thornton, Richie Ewing. Looking forward to having you back roaming the sidelines next week, homecoming week. Real quick, talk about the Shepherd Pirates.
Well, all I know right now is that they defeated the Cold Springs Trojans tonight, 18-14. So they're going to be coming in on a little high because that's their big rivalry. The Battle of San Jacinto County, I guess, is what that's called, and they won that one, which is the first time in a few years. So we'll have our work cut out for us, and but we'll be ready.
All right, Coach. Good luck moving forward. Can't wait to see you back in the saddle again, as they say, coming up this week. When are you actually going to be back? Monday, Tuesday?
Monday. I'm coming back Monday.
Monday. All right, Monday.
Whether they have me or not.
Hatfields and McCoys. All right, Coach. Hey, good luck again this coming week, and congratulations on a remote victory tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you guys do.
All right, thanks. We'll see you next week, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, real quick, Neil, stat wrap up so we can get out of here.
Total yards for Liberty, 277 yards. The running back of the game, I guess, Mason Goodo, with 12 carries, 112 yards. Workhorse of the night had to be Titus Bell. His 50 yards came in 13 carries. All the scoring was done in the first half. Liberty scored twice, and then once at 11:53 of the second quarter, one at 1:37 just before halftime of the second quarter on the long run by Goodo. Diboll scored with 1:10 left in the second quarter. Pass from Watts from Ariano to Watts, a 75-yarder, if you remember it. All the PATs were good on both sides of the ball. It just amounted to the second half. It was nothing but swapping back and forth. I told Ross a while ago when we were on the break, there's 14 different possessions in the second half, 7 for each team. That's highly unusual for a Liberty team. Most of the time they grab the ball and take it and run the clock off and just go down the field a few yards at a time. Very unusual, but we managed to get by it. Shepherd will be after us next week because we've won several games from them in the last seconds on a field goal. And I know if they beat Cold Springs tonight, they're going to be hunting us next week pretty hard.
All right, Neil. Liberty Panthers Sports Network next week going to be home at Memorial Stadium. Shepherd Pirates homecoming, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Don't forget to catch us on panthersports.com. Again, 7:15 we'll be going live. That's sports with a Z. And then on Wednesday, LHSlive.net. Special guest Sean Smith, the LHS band director. Liberty Panthers Sports Network, I'm Joe Roberts with Ross Norwood, Neil Thornton, producer Richard Ewing. There he is. There's the big fella. We'll see you next week.
Welcome to this live stream event of Panther Sports. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, Richie Ewing, Neil Thornton. All gas, no brakes. Let's get it.